Hello and what is going on YouTube world? I'm your brother Reza. This is KRT Life, KRT Life with the Y. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe and comment and all that stuff. And if you've been paying attention to our latest vlogs, you know that the 997 is staying in the family, and I decided to go ahead and keep it and not get rid of it. But since I'm going to go ahead and keep it, there's a couple of maintenance things I want to go ahead and do to this car, kind of summerish type of things. I want to do the sway bar end links today, and I am going to clean my front radiators because the front radiators on 911s, they suck up a whole bunch of debris, and every once in a while you need to go in there and dig all that stuff out. I'm also going to be checking my brakes today because they squeak a little bit here and there, and it's kind of annoying and / embarrassing. So I'm going to check my brakes. I'm going to remove debris from the radiator, do the sway bar end links, and I'm also going to make this car a little bit more practical because since I'm going to keep it, I need it to be able to do the things that I want it to do instead of the things that it wants to do. So it's going to start carrying stuff and all that. And coming down the works, I'm going to actually get some roof racks so I can start mounting things to the top of my 911. And yeah, it should be a fun project. I look forward to using this car and making this car adapt to my lifestyle and bending this piece of German metal into what I need it to be. So sit right there, stay tuned. We're about to go ahead and throw these things on and do some work. Today's tools of the trade. You're gonna need some sockets. You're gonna need a 19mm socket to take your wheel off, to take your wheel bolts off. You're gonna need 18mm socket to remove the bolt that goes on top of here. You're going to need a 16mm to, well no, you're gonna need this right here, this little Minimalist vice grip to clamp this so you can stop this from turning while you're turning this with the, 18mm right here. You are also going to need a 16mm to unscrew the bottom one. Well, actually, no, you don't want to use this 16mm. You want to use an open-ended 16mm wrench so that you can unscrew this one. And while you're unscrewing this, you have to use this right here, which is a T27 to get in here and hold this piece while you're unscrewing this piece so this piece doesn't spin. Sounds complicated, but it's not complicated. It's really, really easy. You know, various ratchets. You're gonna need a breaker bar to get that bolt loose initially on the top of the end link, and a torque wrench so you can torque everything down to its proper value so you don't have to worry about your suspension falling apart while you're driving down the road. Oh, one last thing, thread locker. So I've got my front wheel off, I have my car lifted up, I have the wheels chocked, all those things are done and ready. First thing I'm going to do is replace the sway bar end links. So this is the original sway bar end links right here. And the one on this side is not bad. This one hasn't busted or anything yet, but the one on the passenger side has busted. So I'm going to go ahead and change both of them while I'm doing this job because might as well. And my brakes, I'm looking at my brake pads, and yeah, my brake pad's pretty much about done. And my rotors have a nice little lip on them. It's about a good, like maybe 2mm lip. So I'm gonna go ahead and change the brakes and rotors coming up on the next wrenching in the garage. But for today, we're just gonna go ahead and do these end links, and then just go just like this on there, 2 bolts, and that's that. And then we're gonna move on to cleaning the radiators, which is gonna be really fun because from the front part, you can already see there's lots of leaves and debris stuck in there. So we're gonna get all that out. So now I finally got my screws out of the top and the bottom of the sway bar end links. So now I can pull this one out, and it should be unloaded, so it should be easy to come out. And there it goes. If you turn your wheel straight, this thing should just pull right out. You shouldn't have to hammer it. You shouldn't have to put any pressure on it if you have your car lifted up all the way like that. Now I can go ahead and reinstall this one and torque everything down spec and do the other side. And one thing that I really needed to do this was a really skinny needle nose vice grip. This isn't really a vice grip, this is a bootleg vice grip, but I needed this to clamp the inside of this part right here because I didn't have a ratchet that was, not a ratchet, but a spanner, a wrench that was narrow enough to get in here. So I had to use the needle nose to get in there to do it, to hold it so it would stop spinning while I was unscrewing the outside part of it. Outside of that, everything was pretty normal. So, yep. This one's still in good condition though. It's not shaky. Well, it is kind of loose down here, but the top part is pretty stiff still. But yeah, the other side step is definitely done, so we're gonna continue with the job. So I'm gonna use my original Porsche bolts instead of these aftermarket bolts with the nylon ribbon in them because I like the size of these better. I want to keep it uniform and what it is. And I got this thread locker that I'm gonna put on here, so they should be good to go. All right, so this is why I'm taking these and replacing these. These are actually the OEM ones, and I guess I can overlay a quick close-up of this like part number on here and everything. But you can see that the boot burst and the grease has come out, and these things are just very, very loose and very easy to move around. They're supposed to be a lot more stiff than this. And yeah, so this one was done, and I noticed it when I was doing something the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, definitely time to change my sway bar end links. So here we are, changing sway bar end links. All right, so we're done putting the sway bar end links on my 2007 Porsche 997. Pretty simple job. It's really only 2 bolts that you have to get off. Getting to these bolts can be kind of a pain in the behind, so you got to make sure you have the right tools. But once you're done with this, when you're done installing them, make sure you torque them down. The top one, I believe, is torqued to 63 foot-pounds of torque, and the bottom one is torqued to 48 foot-pounds of torque. And once you're torqued right, you should be good to go. Very easy job, and this can cure a lot of different things that your 997 or 996 can be doing. If you're getting knocking from the front end, this is one of the things you might want to change. If you have a lot of like, kind of like wobbly feeling in your steering, this is something you might want to look at. It's very easy and very cheap to do, and yeah, it only takes like an hour or so to change both of them. So I'm your brother Reza. This is KRT Life, KRT Life the Y. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. We're finally back wrenching in the garage. Sometimes I say garage, sometimes I say garage because I got a real confusing background. But anyway, I'm out of here. Peace, and we'll see y'all in the next vlog. Hopefully we'll be putting the roof stuff on.
Yay.
Should be fun. Later.